Kensington beat Lighthouse Boys away 4-2 last weekend, or yeah, I think that might have been last weekend. Dates are a little bit messed up in my notes. Can't even read my own handwriting, but that's not actually the most convincing results, given Lighthouse have lost all 7 of their games and conceded 47 goals in the process. So we'll see how Kensington are on the road today. It is a big trip for them. We've covered them plenty in the APSL, a Philadelphia-based team. As out come our teams, it's the business end of the league for clubs season. Both teams edging closer to playoffs, but not over the line yet, particularly Met Oval. And the starting 11 we're expecting for Met Oval, relatively familiar. Alex Moreno in goal once again. In front of him, Alex Posada, Javier Gonzalez and TJ Bernhard. The wing-backs will be Nelson Reynoso, who's been a standout player for Met Oval this season. He'll be a right wing-back. He's an incoming freshman at St. John's. Carlos Villa as well, the skipper, who's always very tenacious, composed presence on that side. And then in the middle, young Kasha, who is only 19 years old, but plays with the confidence of a seasoned 27, 28-year-old. Great technician. He's a key part of Met Oval's possession game. Alongside him will be Justin Blanco. First time we've seen him in a home appearance. And then the front three, we're not sure exactly how they'll line up, but it's going to be Will Baker, Balthazar Saunders, who's the top scorer for the side, and Sasha Olashenko, his first start at home. He's a Ukrainian, Olashenko. And of course Met Oval in the white, Kensington in the black. For Kensington, starting 11, we're expecting Morales in goal, Bowman and De Boer the centre-back, Ramos at right-back, Han at left-back, Fuentes and Liu in centre midfield, left wing, Bisback. We're still just waiting for 100% confirmation on who the right winger will be. It might be Raymond, but I thought I maybe saw a late change in that, so we'll confirm that. And then up front, Abdel Gadir and Tui. So just confirming, it does look like it will be Raymond on that right side. So, interesting with the shapes. Kensington is in a traditional 4-4-2. Met Oval are playing in the 3-4-3. It's a tight field at Met Oval, makes for fast tempo. Teams have often come in and tried to press Met Oval off the ball, but such good technicians. Almost all of these players coming through the academy, and they know the Met Oval way to play. Keep it on the ground, don't panic under pressure, play the triangles, and they will generally break the press. Sasha Olashenko, the Ukrainian, will kick us off it. And we're off. Olashenko clicks the ball, and a critical tie for playoff aspirations of both Met Oval and Kensington Soccer Club is underway. Met Oval with a tough run-in after this afternoon's fixture, including Monmouth and their playoff spot rivals, Kingston. could really do with a return to winning ways this afternoon, and Kensington are close to booking their tick off the playoffs. Victory this afternoon will guarantee it. Here's Saunders. Reynoso. Saunders just losing his foot in there. Gonzalez giving it inside to Posada. The only thing I will say is it's a slightly changed backline from what we've normally seen for Met Oval. It's the first time that we've seen Gonzalez in that back line as Met Oval with an early foray forwards, hat clear. Brought down by Tui. Pressured hard by TJ Bernard. You can see the tempo that Met Oval like to play. As soon as that ball goes out, throwing it right back in. Oleshko was sniffing around the back line. Baker a little heavy with the pass. And it looks as if Will Baker in that front three is on the left, Oleshenko in the middle, and Bolte Saunders on the right side. Cleared down the touchline. Cut out by Posada. Oh, down the line. Big leap by Posada.
Hey, if it's 2 against 2, go direct. We have height.
Kasha with Deda. Bernard, Kasha. And Blanco into Gonzalez. This is the first time these sides have met, and the only time they will in the regular season. That's a penetrating ball by Bernhard. Via Oleshenko. Oleshko even, excuse me. First touch slightly off, but warning lights will already be ringing, I think, a bit for Kensington. Unable to break the Met Oval press. Kasha. It was actually a good pass by Kasha, I think. Via was obscured by other players, didn't see it coming, didn't run onto it. Third down the line. Flicked on by Tui. Abdelgadir. Ball ran away from him. Bernard. Gonzalez. Kasha was under high pressure by the Kensington midfield, and it's turned over by the visitors. Raymond. Kasha there to win it back quickly. So as we've got a contingent of Met Oval youth players here to provide some atmosphere. Blanco. Carlos Villa. The incoming freshman at Queen's College. Turns 19 next month. There he is again. He wins the first corner kick of the afternoon. Met Oval overall on top of these first 5 minutes. Saunders will take the corner kick. He'll be an outswinger with his left foot. Not the best delivery, simple for Ramos. Villa back towards the far post. Oleshko thought about it, judged it was slightly too high, keeps it in though. Drives it back in towards Reynoso, cut out before it could reach him. Here's Villa. Bernhard. Blanco, diminutive but very quick with his feet. Blanco, long range shot! Shaved the crossbar. First attempt on goal. Did really well to wriggle away from his man and get himself half a yard. It's well caught. Best start I've seen from Oval at home. Funnily enough, both their previous home games, which they did end up winning, were slower starts. They took a little while to get going, but once they did, they produced victories. Saunders looking for a clever flick onto Oleshko. Bowman, or De Boer even, excuse me, who's wearing the armband. Down the channel, here's Tui, who's in behind. Tui! Morania tips around the post, really smart save. Abdelgadir was sniffing around for rebounds, but Morania made sure he got lots of power on the punch. Tipped it away from the danger area. But Coach Barclay might be a little concerned how easily Kensington broke down the right flank. A little bit of argy-bargy in the penalty area. Beers back with the in-swinger. Beers back. Not thrilled to be told to put the corner flag back where it was. Not a huge amount of space for a run-up on the field. Goes back towards the near post. Wicked delivery, surely the opener. It is. Abdelgadir, the danger man up front. Somersaults for joy. And Kensington with the early breakthrough. The ball fired in with pace by Beers back. It wasn't dealt with adequately at all at the front post by Met Oval. And Abdelgadir could barely believe his luck. Fell to him on a platter. And Kensington lead early on. Well, the good news for Met Oval is this is very familiar territory to them at home, trailing, and they have always found a way to come back. Against First State a few weeks ago, they trailed 2-1 for about 30 minutes, but when the goal did come that equalised, it was quickly followed by 3 others. It was an astonishing 4 goals in 8 minutes. They ran out 5-2 winners. Saunders, slightly too much on it for Oleshko. Liu. A good step by Gonzalez. Fuentes. Han, crossfield ball. Bernhard rising, got enough on it, cleared out by VS. That came off of Oleshko's arm, unfortunate for the Ukrainian. Very central this position, probably too far out for a shot. That was Abdelgadir's first goal of the season as well. linked in by Fuentes, but that's not going to perturb Metovo in the slightest. Okay, guys, today's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, and also Salt would like to thank, Metovo would like to thank their sponsors, La Casita Mexicana, best Mexican restaurant north of the border, 5% off your next visit if you mention Metovo, and also Positive Sports Therapy, where champions end pain and get their life back. Mention Metovo for 15% off your next visit. Kasha. Gonzalez. Posada able to squeeze it to Baker. Saunders. Blanco. Kasha. Bernard adventuring forwards. Kasha. Blanco. Kensington very deep. Saunders looks for a clever ball to Oleshko. Balti Saunders again onto his left foot, shaping up towards that top corner. A foot wide. Interesting to see, as soon as Metovo having that ball inside Kensington's half, they are dropping back quite deep. Two very closely stacked lines of four between the midfield and the defence. They know how Metovo can pick apart defences with the quick combinations. Kasha. Abdelgadir a little late with his tackle on Gonzalez. Saunders. Blanco. Gonzalez. Not on the same wavelength as Reynoso. Good step by Gonzalez. Saunders. Can he help it onto Oleshko? VS stepping up. Positive step by Liu. Villa. Bernard. Blanco. Saunders.
Good. Stay with him, Musa.
Reynoso was angling towards the in behind diagonal run. The pass cut out simply enough. Composed by Posada. Blanco. Back to Kasha. Baker, who's one of the super subs who scored in Metovo's miraculous comeback victory in their last home game. All those subs were involved in the 4 goals in that 8-minute period, and they'd all come on only a few minutes before. Here's Reynoso, his first chance to streak down the right side. Corner kick. Another opportunity for Balti Saunders. Sun is glaring down on this field now. We did have clouds earlier in the day, but probably about 90 degrees now in the field. Saunders towards that far post, punched clear by Morales and helped on by Abdelgadir, who will chase it himself. Telegraphed the switch and blocked by Posada. Abdelgadir. Raymond. Abdelgadir in the area. Kasha's got to be careful. I think Abdelgadir was looking for a strike partner, Tui. Too close to Morenia, though, the delivery. Kasha. Searching for Reynoso. He's found Nelson Reynoso. A good charge out from Morales. Just for a second, it looked as if Reynoso was going to be first to that. Another corner kick for Met Oval. It's given short to Villa. Saunders towards the far post, wasn't a terrible ball. Excuse me, that was actually Reynoso. Reynoso sent that ball in. Here's Villa on the far side. Baker. That ball had run out whilst it was in his possession. Fuentes drilling it forward. He didn't have a lot of forward options. Kasha making up for the height differential with Abdelkader with a big leap. Blanco doing well. It's a very short midfield, but I think that helps him with their centre of gravity, how quickly they can change direction. Reynoso floating it in. I don't think a shot was the intention there, but he very nearly caught Morales out. Kasha and Blanco look like Iniesta and Xavi, and they're constantly twisting and turning. Press them and they'll wriggle away from you. Saunders. Carlos Villa brings it down, caught that one well. Would have been interesting to see what the terminal point of that shot was, but ended up hitting one of the many bodies in the penalty area. No chances taken by Bowman. Villa. Well, despite Met Oval having most of the ball so far, they are trailing. Abdelkader capitalising off some confusion at the front post from a corner for Met Oval for a tap-in goal. A long way to go in this match, but at the moment, Kensington with the result they need to secure a ticket to the playoffs. Here's Bisbak, who took the corner. He'll have a drive here at Posada. Bisbak onto his left foot, very tame effort. Both sides do have a full complement of substitutes on the bench today, and they might well need them with the temperature, although the sun has gone in for now. Gonzalez, I think, was looking for Baker. Will fall to Villa. Kasha. Baker. Not enough purchase on that pass to Carlos Villa. Blanco. Gonzalez. There was a little contact off the ball. Baker howling for a referee decision. Gonzalez doing well to prevent the Kensington counter-attack.
Hey, Musa, you're fucking working on it. Enough with the elbow, cut it out.
Blanco won the first tackle, not the second, but the ball comes to Reynoso. Bernard. Villa. Cleared up by De Boer. Every time Met Oval have it in a wide position, though, they've got at least 2 white shirts to aim for in the penalty area, often 3. It's this attacking formation that Coach Barklow goes with. Gonzalez.
Come on, Musa. Come on, Musa.
And it often ends up pinning the opponent with all 11 players on the edge of their penalty area. Even the back three are often coming forwards into the attack. Not a great switch by Bernhard, but not a great touch by... There's back, Reynoso capitalising. And it'll be a free kick in a decent position here for Met Oval. This is just about shooting range for Bolty Saunders. He's going to float it in instead. Baker with the header. Cleared out. Oleszko on the second. Oleszko's got a big build. It's Reynoso in the area. Nelson Reynoso, still Reynoso! Tricky! And an equaliser for Met Oval. Reynoso twisting, turning, and finding the finish. He could have snatched at that chance. But that's the confidence of this young man. Must have took another 6 or 7 touches in the area. Worked his opportunity, sold a few dummies, and just stroked it past Morales. Midway through the first half, it's 1-1.
Let's step in, let's press a little bit harder. We're showing them a lot of respect.
Reynoso's second goal of the league for club season and his second consecutive home goal as well. And you have to say nothing less than what Met Oval deserve. The way they've controlled this game so far. Fuentes. And playing into trouble, Reynoso, Oleszko, Reynoso again. Penetrating ball, Baker's onside here. Will Baker. Saunders sent it right back where it came from and cleared Posada on the loose ball. Really good recovery by Abdelgadir. Bisbak. Blanco with him. Bisbak was looking to slot through Abdelgadir. And then Posada fell asleep. Abdelgadir could be in here. Moreno off his line. Posada breathing a very big sigh of relief. Totally lost his bearings. Very fortunate that Abdelgadir lost his footing.
Move him a little bit.
Blanco gives it into Baker. Kasha. The relentless tempo of Met Oval's possession continuing. Kasha again. Blanco. Kasha. Leaves it to Baker. Kasha continued his run and the idea was right from Baker, but the pass too heavy. Villa well positioned and he will give that to Posada. Baker. Bit of space on the right side for Reynoso. Baker overran it. Turned over by Bowman. But Kengiston really struggling to keep possession at the moment. And they need to do better with it. Or else you just invite this Met Oval side to keep coming back at you. Kasha. Baker, who's becoming concerningly involved in the game from a Kensington standpoint. Kasha, he's going to drill it cross-field. Inch perfect to Nelson Reynoso, brings it down on a dime. Reynoso taking on hand, and Baker, wild effort. Really should have been the first lead of the afternoon for Met Oval. Reynoso heads that ball back where it came from. Fuentes to hand. He draws it up. Kasha. Bernard. Back to Alex Morania, who, believe it or not, has a goal to his name this season. Scored against Lighthouse in a very heavy Met Oval victory up in Pennsylvania. Saunders. Closed down by De Boer. Again, Kensington just too loose with these passes. Morania lost his footing with that clearance. Saunders. He finds Nelson Reynoso. Reynoso taking a hand again. Reynoso and Baker. Baker still couldn't slot it through the bodies. I wonder if he would have been better just giving that back to Saunders. And you know what? Abdelgader might have started his own half here. What a tackle by Posada. Abdelgader is no slouch, but Posada made up the yards to prevent him being clean through on goal. Abdelgader. Tui, good cut out initially. Abdelgader. Tui. Ranging ball. Raymond will keep it in. Looking to send it right back where it came from, but not a lot of black shirts had committed at that point. Bernhard will cut it out simply enough. Gonzalez. 16.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Abdelgader scored early for Kensington. Reynoso with a recent equaliser though. Very well taken goal. Kasha. Saunders. Bowman has been strong with his positioning thus far. Another important interception by the centre-back. Kensington are at times leaving two up front though, even when defending and looking for that counter-attacking. I think they've switched to that more since the equaliser. But look at the speed of the press. That's a very soft free kick to give it, indeed. Looked like Reynoso got all ball. De Boer. Liu. That looked like it came off of Liu's hand. Unfortunate for the midfielder, not a lot he could have done about that. Kasha kicking it up, hitting it at point blank.
Hey, 10, bring it back. Hey, Doc, he's moving the ball up.
Cast Villa. Trying to send this in. Basically asked to move the free kick back a few yards. Villa will give it down the line. Kasha. Villa. Lots of options to aim for. Olesko off the post. I think he got the slice of touches there, the Ukrainian. Couldn't squeeze it in. Clever initial set-piece routine by Matt Oval. It almost forced Kensington deeper. They all ran back expecting an initial cross. They were on the edge of their 6-yard box by the time Villa did send in the cross. Blanco. Saunders. Kasha. Blanco. Nelson Reynoso. Reynoso. Olesko brings it down. The first touch showed too much to the skipper De Boer. It comes back here to Saunders. A lightning save by Morales. Matt Oval knocking on the door. Very hard indeed for a second goal. Olesko furious with himself there. The touch slightly too heavy. But it does feel like a second goal is imminent. Kensington have got to find a way to get some possession, get this ball out their half. They've been penned back there for so much so far of the game. Posada. Blanco. Baker. Kasha. Saunders drills it crossfield. What a ball. Villa. Not the easiest to bring down. It was heavy with his touch, but look at the fitness of Villa. Sprinting one way and sprinting back the other, and his pressure helping turn it back over again for Mashtrov. I do wonder there Villa committed a foul in that, but play continues. Here's Saunders. Reynoso. Gonzalez. Really poor pass. A reminder, everyone, we're going to have our Save of the Month competition at half-time for May. Some brilliant stops. Voting open at the moment on our Instagram page at Game and Frame. And guys, make sure to give Game and Frame a follow on YouTube. Game and Frame YouTube, and just hit that subscribe button. We're the home of North East grassroots soccer live streaming. We're going to have about 500 games this year. We have top semi-pro sides, top academies, some of the oldest famous names in amateur soccer, all here in one place. Game and Frame. Saunders onto his left foot. Bolty Saunders. Venomous strike straight down the middle. And Morales tipping it over. He's not the tallest keeper in the world, Morales. I gotta say, that save looked a little harder perhaps than I would have expected initially. Was caught very well, but right down the middle. Looked he was struggling a little bit, the keeper, to get that over the crossbar. Saunders will take this corner kick. Can Matt Oval capitalise on all this dominance? A flat ball. Reynoso! Well, the headers ended up going closer to the corner flag than the goal, but you could see his head in his hands. He knew that was a good chance. Couldn't redirect it, but the way the ball was delivered in flatly by Saunders meant most of the power was on it for Reynoso already. Just had to get the direction right. Kasha. Baker. Saunders. Lost a lot of Reynoso with the pass. There's temporary relief for Kensington, but a little more than that. They are under siege here at the Oval. Such a key part of the dominance is the backline's comfortableness, just playing the ball out, even when under a lot of pressure, bringing it down And they can play off of Kasha and Blanco really well. The triangles break out of the centre forward press. Percentages in which they do that are incredibly high. Gonzalez, not the right angle on the pass. I think he was searching for Baker there. Han, down the channel. Fish back, that's a smart ball inside. Liu, Han. Abdelgader's got to do more there to hold that ball up. His teammates imploring him, but he's redeemed himself there, Abdelgader. Didn't give up on it. Abdelgader seeing his name in the headlines and taking a strike from probably 35 yards out.
Bro, this isn't FIFA, bro. You win it, you play.
Bernard. Villa. Olesko. Blanco. Saunders. That last pass lacking. No option on for Beers Batch. Bernard cuts inside of Fuentes. Bernard still with it. Took a shot and it deflected. Another corner kick for Met Oval. They must be approaching double figures for corners now. With the chances they've had, they will be kicking themselves if they don't go in at half time ahead, Met Oval. Saunders will swing this one in. No, he'll give it short to Reynoso. Saunders again. I think it was a cross, but the angle wrong, too close to Morales. Not a great bit of distribution by Morales. Well, retrieved by Tui, but it's back again with the white shirts. Suffocating pressure on their visitors. Posada. Gonzalez. Saunders. Gonzalez inadvertently cutting the ball out. That was intended for Reynoso. Posada with a commanding header. Look at that press again from Met Oval. Saunders. Dancing feet. Went down looking for a foul. I don't think there was really one on there. Reynoso put in a flying tackle. We got some of the ball. I do sympathise with Reynoso. I think both times he got the ball. Certainly combative a tackle, but I think the game's dead if that's a free kick. Raymond. Liu. First header out by Gonzalez. Fuentes, he plays it into Baker. Doesn't have a lot in front of him. Turned out the pressure really well. Looking for Olesko. The race is on. Oleszko's in behind. Olesko! He squeezes it in. Turnaround complete for Met Oval. The Ukrainian strikes like lightning. Will Baker with a magnificent assist. And Olesko ghosting in behind Kensington's backline. Morales caught in no man's land. But even once Olesko was past him, he had so much left to do with such a narrow angle. He did not hesitate for a second. 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Met Oval with their first lead, and deservedly so. Sasha Olenko Scores his first goal of the season. How pivotal it could prove for Met Oval's playoff aspirations. At the moment, they go 6 points clear of Kengiston Stockades. I should also mention they'll be 6 points behind Monmouth, who are in the top position. They will still have a game in hand on Monmouth. So in other words, if Met Oval win out their remaining fixtures, their final one being hit back here against Monmouth, they could take the first seed in not only the North East North, but also the entire North East Conference, given the points tally that the North East South is on. Kengiston actually on the highest tally in the South, and they have 11 points, which is half of what Monmouth have currently on 22. Abdelgadir. Good press by Oleshko. He sends it down the channel. Ball to Saunders. Oleshko still steaming forwards. Saunders. Cut out by Howard. Tonight we've got a big UPSL Northeast American semi-finals. Renegades taking on Empire FC. That'll be 7:30 p.m. live from Sousa. And then next week we'll be back with Met Oval as they host Kengiston Stockade, their playoff rivals. Depending upon other results, that could be the decisive game in deciding which of those two teams will progress to the playoffs. All of that on Game of Frame YouTube. Posada. Kasha. Reynoso. Floats it in. Baker. He puts it in. He tucks it in with nonchalant ease. It's 3-1 Met Oval. They give themselves the cushion right before the half-time whistle. 2 goals in 3 minutes. I thought for a second Baker was trying to take that down with his first touch, but instead the most delicate of finishes. Didn't need the power, got the placement. His 3rd goal of the season. And as Met Oval so often do at home, they score in 2s. And that 3rd goal, a hammer blow for Kensington. They're not entirely out of this, but they're going to have to totally change the pattern of this game if they're going to have any chance of finding 2 goals without reply. They have been almost without interruption dominated by Met Oval in this first half. Helped on the corner by Baker. He gets it back from Kasha. Abdelgadir with good work. And again, I think a little bit soft the free kick, but referee being consistent, to be fair, with the line he's drawn. Sounds as if we're going to get 2 minutes of stoppage time. It's the first half that started poorly for Met Oval, conceding after an error from a corner kick. But they did not panic for a second, kept playing their weight, patient, crushing press on this Kensington side. And almost inevitably, they've yielded 3 goals. Kasha. He's hardly put a foot wrong in this first half. Young Andy Kasha. What a future he's got. going to repeat, he's only 19 years old. And you look at the game IQ of him, maturity, as is the case with many of these Metovo players of a young age. They've got the legs to go very far in this game. Baker, here's another young starlet, Reynoso. Call that the commentator's curse. I imagine other than the goal Metovo conceded, Coach Burklow will be very pleased from what he's seen from his team. Unless goal for Kengiston would spoil the mood somewhat. Raymond, Tui, Abdelgadir wasn't far away. Critical touch by Posada. Abdelgadir appealing for a penalty there, saying there's a shove in his back. Saunders searching for Oleshko, whose offside looked marginal. Raymond. 3 black shirts in the penalty area. Liu. And a rather needless free kick given by Metovo there. And with the final action, most likely of this first half, Kengiston are going to have to send this into the penalty area. How a goal back would change the mood for them and their half-time team talk. Everyone back for Metovo. Swung in. Abdelgadir's gone down again. I don't think there's any shout for a penalty that time. Ramos back in. That's a decent ball. Liu sends it into the mix. A bicycle kick. That was an excellent effort, but very difficult to execute. Straight into the hands of Morenia. And Metovo survived that late scare. They go in with the 2-goal lead. They've turned the game around here at the Oval. They've been exceptional in possession, relentless winning it back. Other than that late foray at the end of the half by Kengiston and the goal early on, they've had almost nothing in this first half. They're going to have to find a way to turn the tide very dramatically if they're going to get anything out of this one. But guys, for now, it is my pleasure to present to you our mate Save of the Month nominees.
My name's
Nito up top, can't quite control it. Lasky back out with a long shot. Oh, and the touch on the crossbar! A great save there from the keeper. Redirected! Oh, Josh Levine! Superhuman gut reaction.
and Richmond County FC versus Greek Americans also playing as well as Sullivan could be in. Right footed shot! Torella is called into a big time save.
Saved! Gino Savoni redeems himself with a magnificent dive.
There, but no call. The shot tipped over. What a save by Chilingarian. Every single inch of him needed to get that one.
Great ball. Giuseppe Barone, left-footed shot stopped incredibly well. Aldo Munoz.
The outlet player, Mancuso comes out with it, has a hit, and oh, what a touch by Delson. I can't believe he got fingertips to that one. I'm not sure if that was the deflection or just the shot, but what an athletic save from Delson to keep that ball out of the net.
To cement their second victory. Here comes the ball looking for Tindemay. Tindemay takes a shot, and there's a save by Dennis Mejia.
3 points. Shot, Borisevic! Swatting it away just in time, just enough bounce.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Oval. Looks like we have one change for Kensington Soccer Club.
Yeah, he's coming in right now.
It's going to be Thames on, and it appears Ramos. Actually, it's Haneven, who has been withdrawn. So Ramos has switched to the left back position. Might actually be a change of shape here for Kengiston, we'll see. Looks like there's a back three now. Thames is going to go up to that left wing back position as we kick off in the second half. Kengiston recognising they've got to change something about the flow of this game. It's driven straight up towards Thames. So the left back withdrawn. The back three of Kengiston now of Bowman, De Boer and Ramos. And it might be four in the midfield, maybe another 4-3-3 like Metovo, or might be 3-5-2. Villa caught quite late there. I think more likely it's a 3-5-2 from Kensington. Metovo unchanged. And overall, very impressive first half performance by the Queen's side. Dominated possession. You know what, actually, I think Han stayed on. There he is heading it. So we have to get our bearings who's come off. Han's gone into the midfield. Driven out to the substitute Thames. Thames are searching for Tui. Right angle on the pass, slightly too much height in it. But a positive start to this half. So Han, I think, is in a number 6 position now, alongside Fuentes, with Biz back in the number 10. So a radical change of shape and positioning by Kensington. So I think actually it was Leo who's been withdrawn for Kensington. Saunders. Baker. Took his finish right before the half-time whistle very nicely, Will Baker. Measured, controlled finish. Posada. Searching inside towards Oleshko, whose finish wasn't half bad either, from a very narrow angle. Han. There's back. Baker shoulder to shoulder with De Boer, who let out a mighty yelp. Ramos. They switch from the right to left side of defence. Debate about who was going to get the free kick or throw in. In the end, Matt Over got the free kick. Morania floating it up. Fuentes winning the header. Thames. Reynoso racing onto it. Thames back with it. Or Gonzalez was racing onto it even, excuse me. Abdelgader. Beers back. Gonzalez with an important touch. Important block. Very compressed in there. Gonzalez has done really well to maintain his balance and bring that ball out. Bernard driving up towards Oleshko. Cleared out by De Boer. Or Bowman even. Baker. Reynoso. Blanco. Baker, lovely Cruyff turn. Reynoso had ghosted in from the side and he's going to look to poach on the second ball. The flag is up. Reynoso was in an offside position when that initial pass was sent through. Sun is intermittently in and out here at the Oval. When it is out, it's very intense and warm. There was some discussion about water breaks for the players, but in the end it's decided, at least in the first half, to not do it. Maybe they'll do it in the second period. Baker. Bernard dealing with that ball competently.
Good, good. Again.
Posada not taking any chances. Oleshko. Saunders. Reynoso.
Hey, boys, hey, hey.
Saunders. Kensington are playing with a much more intense press now. We'll see how that works out for them. That Oval are more than adept at playing out of it. Baker holding off the attentions of De Boer. And Kasha, crossfield drill, not quite enough legs on it. Saunders looking for a clever touch down the line. Adogadir tackled from behind by Gonzalez. That will certainly be a free kick. This is going to be driven up into the penalty area by Ramos, or attempted to. It's reached the edge, flicked on. There was a bit of heavy contact on the back of Tui. Kengiston were hoping for a free kick. There's the area. They're going to have to settle for the corner kick. Oh, it's an old cliche about how dangerous a 2-goal lead is in football. It can feel also comfortable, but if Kensington can claw their way back to a single goal margin, the entire complexion of the contest changes.
Hey, Devi, get in the box.
It's given short to Tui. Fuentes towards the far post. Bowman made a mighty leap. Couldn't connect. It will be another corner kick. Last touch off a Met Oval head. No doubt these first 7.5 minutes of the half by Kensington have been much more positive than pretty much anything we saw in the first. They're taking this game now to Met Oval as much as they can, as much as possible. Whipped in. Wasn't a million miles away from sneaking at the far post. 5 years back. Posada was posted at that far post probably to deal with it. Bernard. Inviting via forwards. The race run by Bowman. Baker. Maybe a throw in for Met Oval. Oleshko trying to get in behind, and he was shoulder to shoulder with Bowman and ended up running into the wall. Oleshko. Up gingerly to his feet the big Ukrainian. Kengiston this time opting to try and play out the back, or partially. Thames with the switch. Baker. Surrounded by black shirts, but stays with Metovo. Kasha with the flick on. Bernard does really well to keep that in. Kasha lost his footing. Abdegir. Slightly too heavy with his pass to Tui. Posada playing with fire. He dove in for that ball. He did get the ball, but the foot was a little bit raised, and Kengiston appealing for something. Balti Saunders at the other end, onto his left foot. This is Saunders' area. Saunders wins it back. Balti Saunders. That's surely the clincher. Kensington hoping for a penalty at one end. Metovo going right down the other and putting in the dagger. Balti Saunders with Metovo's fourth, and his fourth of the season. His initial burst into the penalty area is dealt with, but then Kensington inexcusably lax with clearing that ball, and Saunders seized upon that. And it will take nothing short of a miracle for Kensington to rescue a point out of this now. 3 down against Metovo, who are tightening their grip on the second playoff spot in North East North. 4 different goal scorers from Metovo, and that's really been a story of them for them all season. Haven't relied on one player to be the provider. A little loose there by Saunders. Right, no, so Saunders loose once again. Hospital ball if I've ever seen one. Bernhard. Villa. Baker. Bernhard. Kasha. Posada is hoofing it up. Nice touch by Baker. Kasha. Saunders. And this is the problem with Kensington's press. Once it's broken, there's not a lot of players back. Villa's got space on the left side. Villa. Cleared out by Ramos. Kasha. Bursting towards the 18-yard box, coming into it. Kasha goes down. Referee convinced that was far too easy, and I think I agree with him there. Looked like Kasha was looking for that. Very nice, so. Somehow skipped between 2 black shirts. Pass was lacking though. When Metovo break the press, it's typically now a 3-on-3 in the attacking third, or even sometimes 4-on-3 in Metovo's favour. Kensington preparing another change. Ivanov will be introduced. McCloskey also will come on in that over the goalkeeper. High foot from Ramos.
Nathan, slide out to right woman.
2-8 will come off for Kensington. Ivanov appears to be going into the front three. Oh, excuse me, actually, Tui stayed on it. It was Raymond who's come off. And in goal, Alex Moreno withdrawn for Jackson. McCloskey. We've got to give Kensington credit, despite conceding another goal this half. They have made the balance of play much more even with the change of shape, with the higher press they are now instigating. Matt Oval much more disrupted in their possession, as they were really able to pick their passes at will.
Hey! I didn't touch it, ref. It touched your back. No, it didn't. Yes, you did.
Kasha. Very nice so. Saunders. Olesko. Just past the post. Incisive ball by Bolty Saunders, and Olesko timed that run perfectly, as he did for his first goal. But the finish lacking, and the Ukrainian shaking his head in frustration. Kengiston living a little dangerously at the back. I think Met Oval have actually changed their shape too. They've got four at the back, and it appears that Gonzalez is now in the midfield three with Kasha and Blanco. Still a front three. McCloskey with his first touch. McCloskey at NYU. He plays his soccer. Important tackle by Ramos. There's back. Now make its way to Tui. Looking crossfield. McCloskey off his line. To intercept before it could reach. Thames on the left flank. I do wonder as well how long can Kengiston maintain that high press they started this half with. Looks already as if it might be easing a little bit. Again, very, very hot day once the sun comes out. Met Oval's goal scoring form at home is astonishing as well. In 3 games, they've now scored 13 goals. 4 against Braveheart on the opening day, 5 against First State, and now 4 today. We're still plenty of time to add to that tally. Fuentes. Han. De Boer. Forced back to Morales. Fuentes. That's a really loose ball. Olesko can make it 5. Olesko, narrow angle again. Carbon copy. He squeezes it in once again from a narrow angle. Met Oval are running away with it now. Fuentes with a horrible moment. And you do not gift Olesko the ball there. Met Oval just scoring about their goal scoring record at home. For a second game in a row at home, they score 5. And now it's 25 in the season in 8 games, including this one. Another change made. Beers back off. Abdul on for Kensington, and Metovo are going to make all of their outfielder changes, 6 of them. So spare me your thoughts as a commentator trying to work out who's who. We'll do the best we can. The last home game against First State, when Coach Buckler made these changes, about this point, it was the subs who ended up winning the game. It was 2-1 to First State, and then the subs proceeded to all be involved in and score 4 goals in 8 minutes. But this time the subs come on in a very different situation. The game is won. Baker off, Kasher off, Oleshko off, Saunders off, so all the front 3 off. Villa off. Reynoso also withdrawn. Just give me a second to get my bearings with who are the ones who've come on. I can see Nico Vidal has 1 on. Rauja has come onto the left flank. And he's going to be wearing the captain's armband. Then for Gentile, who was the substitute hero in the last home game, he's at centre forwards. Blanco, still lots of spring in his legs, spreads it out on the right side. Lindenberg also on. Posada. Bernard dispossessed by Abdul. And then Bernard giving away the free kick. And you know, Gillespie Bagnato is I think, another one of the subs who's come on at right centre back. Good position here for Kensington. There's whipped in towards Abdel Gadir. He got some contact on it, but the last touch off of Betalou.
Maddie, in the box,
Whipped in, gentle meeting. And there before Vidal, who's got quite a burst of speed in him, Vidal, you can see there. He lost his footing eventually. Whipped in, but that'll be simple for McCloskey. Vidal made his rounds through a number of academies, Metovo, one of them, of course, Queensborough FC as well, and that's out. Fuentes. And you know, Han stepped funnily there. I wonder if he's just tried or something. Play continuing. Vidal's been absolutely cleaved by Bowman, who's going to go into the book.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna have to tweak it. Yeah.
You sure? He's up and walking again. You sure? Yeah, give it a second.
Jakey! Jake!
Yeah, we'll stay with the original.
I thought he was like.
Yeah, he was down for a little bit.
He usually doesn't stay down sometimes.
Stop! Stop, start!
Kengiston now going to make a change here. Fuentes will be taken off. Say gone on in his stead. Bernard losing his footing in the collision. And treading a little bit funnily, I think, on that foot. You can see he's moving gingerly. Back on his feet now. Bernard not looking too worse for wear. But overran it. Vidal will get the seconds. Bernard again. Slotting it through. Finnenberg and Gentle at the far post, in fact. It was Bettelou who cracks it off the woodwork. Metoval cutting through Kensington's back line. They're not letting up here. Thames. Han. Blanco winning back, and how good has Blanco been in the central midfield today? Anticipation to win back possession has been excellent, but most impressive, of course, he is in possession. Never panics, always making decisions. There he is again. He's just kept the ball ticking over in midfield throughout the afternoon. Vidal give and go with Bettelou. He's hoping for a free kick. Well played out by Kensington. Abdelgadir racing after it. He's all by himself at the moment. Does really well to win a corner kick. A few other options available to him. But a goal at this point would be a little more than consolation for Kensington. Met Oval are going to be 6 points ahead of Kingston Stockade in second place and 6 points behind FC Monmouth with a game in hand, on Monmouth. And again, Kensington's final 2 games, Met Oval's final 2 games will be against Kingston and Monmouth at home. They'll go to Atlanta on the road first before that. That's headed in towards McCloskey, and Kensington have pulled one back. I think it's Abdelgadir again on the score sheet. Have to watch that back later to see who got the final touch. There's a lot of bodies in there, but Kensington won't mind too much one way or the other. They have got themselves back to 3-goal margin. Again, really hard to imagine it will be anything more than a consolation goal. Again, a corner kick. The producer for Kensington. Blanco. Bagnato. Finnenberg. Bettelou. Couldn't slot that cross in. Thames will hack it clear. Good hold-up play by Abdelgadir initially. First touch to say gone, and he'll get it again. Really intricate play by Kensington. Ramos. Simple for the skipper now, Arauja, on the first ball. And a couple of late tackles. The referee's going to play advantage. Here's Vidal. Blanco. Coach Buckler just urging his players to keep possession. I think at this stage, Met Oval probably just need to take the heat out of the contest. Give and go, Bagnato. Bernard. Aruja. That's clever. Klinenberg. Aruja. 6 for Met Oval. Aruja coming off the bench. His first goal of the season. And it's turning into a rout here at the Oval. The captain involved throughout the build-up, followed the play into the box, and a tidy finish. All of Met Oval's goals have been really well taken. Another change made by Kensington. Tui off now. And it's Ali who's replaced him. Klinenberg, who got the assist. Gonzalez. Vidal. Gentle. Belagu. Gentle. Vidal. Belagu. Very narrow angle. Hit the side netting. And the linesman thought it was a goal kick. Referee's overruling him.
Come on, guys, come on!
Driven towards the far post. Big header. To deny Gentle. Abdul rising that. Corner given short. Klinenberg. Gentle. I think was looking for a header there. Sagan riding one tackle and then a second. Abdul Gadir. Ivanov switched out to Abdul. Han. Ivanov was trying to help that around the corner. That pass neither here nor there. Lovely feet by Aruja. Gentle looking for a clever touch. Vidal's going to steam after this ball, and he's got the deflection. Came off of his hand. Kensington are going to make another change. Evan Watson, who we've seen a lot for the APSL side, coming on. I believe Watson has won a few Save the Month competitions. And let me remind you guys, voting is open on Instagram for our Save the Month. Head to our Instagram at Game and Frame. Just comment your favourite save. You can cast your vote. Well dealt with by Bernhard. And also, I would like to remind you, today's broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic, who made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. Scan the QR code and you'll get a 10% discount code off of the air case, which is a really clever cleat bag. And also, Met Oval would like to thank their sponsors, La Casita Mexicana, which is the best Mexican restaurant north of the border. You can mention Met Oval to get 5% off your next order. And also Positive Sports Therapy, who are also proud supporters of Met Oval. Positive Sports Therapy is where champions end pain and get their life back. Mention Met Oval for 15% off your next visit. Bernard. Klinenberg well offside. Kengiston did make a decent start to this half when it was 3-1, pressed harder. Just for a second you wondered if they might be able to mount a comeback. But once that fourth goal went in, writing on the wall. Kleinenberg, Vidal. Gentle. Borman came in too heavy on his back. Vidal. Cannoned off of the head of Kengiston player. Posada. Bagnato. Kleinenberg. Vidal. Gentil. The ball cut out before it could reach Aruja. Gonzalez with the header. I think Gentle believed he was offside. He might actually have been played on by De Boer inadvertently. He was coming back from the initial challenge. Thames. Loose ball comes to Abdelgadir. Ivanov. So gone. I should note as well, this victory makes it just about impossible for Braveheart now to make the playoffs themselves. Obviously, they had a overall pretty poor season in the league for clubs. They lost their first 4 games, have managed to revive it a little bit in recent weeks, but they're sitting on 4 points at the bottom of the table, and they could still, with their remaining 4 games, reach 16 points, but Met Oval are on that right now, so you would need Met Oval to fail to get a single point in their remaining 3 games, and also Braveheart to swing a very considerable goal difference margin. Braveheart on -6 goal difference right now. Met Oval are sitting on 16 goal difference, and it could become more. Kleinenberg, that's clever. Gentle is onside. Watson with a good first touch save. And then Gentle tried to leap over the back of Ali, referee blowing the whistle. Final 7 or so minutes here. Guys, I will remind you, we're going to have Renegades taking on Empire in a massive UPSL Northeast American semi-final. That'll be back here on Game of Frames YouTube. And next weekend we will return to the Oval as Met Oval take on Kingston Stockade. With this result, Kingston will likely have to win that match to keep realistic playoff hopes alive. It also depends upon how Kingston do in their match this weekend. If they lose, then Met Oval would need just a point in their final 2 games to ensure that they make the playoffs and Kingston are eliminated. So it's pretty much just down to Kingston and Met Oval now for that second spot. And don't forget that if Met Oval win out their remaining games, they could also nip Monmouth to be the Northeast Conference champions overall. That's going to be on the final day. What a game that'll be, and we'll have that back on Game and Frame, of course. It's a decent position for Kensington. Bowman and Abdul over it. It will be Bowman. Took a touch from the wall. Another corner kick. And this is where Kensington have found both their goals so far. Once again, we've had a lively atmosphere here in Queens from the Met Oval faithful. Great to see so many young youth players seeing good role models whip towards the far post. Aruja strong and happy to watch that go out for a goal kick. Bagnato. Belagu. Vidal. Intricate touch around the corner. Vidal, he's got quite a burst of acceleration. Kleinenberg. Poor final ball. Vidal looks like a very lively player indeed. Ramos. Thames winning the duel. Inviting Ali forwards. Doesn't quite have the legs to keep that in. Kensington's next fixture will be away against Atlantic City. Atlantic City starting today a point behind Kensington with 2 games in hand. That now becomes an increasingly important match for Kensington to win to really guarantee that they will be in the playoffs one way or the other. Watson not too convincing with his footwork, but flag comes to his rescue. And after that, Kensington will have Lighthouse Boys, which they should expect to be a comfortable victory given how weak Lighthouse Boys have been this season. So Kensington probably still will be okay to make the playoffs. First State, who are in 3rd, can reach a maximum of 13 points if they win their remaining 2 games. Yellow card issued to Abdel Gadir. Blanco. Bagnato. Vidal. Gentle. Surging towards the byline. Gentle still with it. Kleinenberg with him. Just ran out of pitch to charge into. Ivanov close down. Aroja shaping towards that right corner. Got it all wrong with the connection. So we're ticking towards the final minute of normal time. I don't imagine, even with the subs, that we're going to have a huge amount of stoppage time. Not a lot of other delays, not a huge amount of purpose to extra minutes with this scoreline as it is. Looks like we're going to have 2 minutes. Vidal. He ran it out. And thankfully we've had a relative amount of cloud cover. At times the sun has shone, but I think that's helped the players a lot. Here's Blanco, Met Oval, in the mood for a 7th. Blanco, Kleinenberg onto his right foot. It is 7. And it's Met Oval's 6th goal scorer of the afternoon. A comprehensive performance, emphasised in style. Cyrus Kleinenberg with his first goal of the season. Met Oval back to winning ways emphatically after that rough patch against Monmouth and Braveheart. I suppose some concern may have been in Kengiston's mind as they made this trip. One, obviously knowing the quality of the opposition they're facing, but two, their away record not entirely convincing. They've drawn against First State, lost against Monmouth away, and then beat Lighthouse, but not convincingly. Met Oval might get 8 here. Here's Gentle. Watson with a superb fingertip save to deny the 8th. That's the final action. Met Oval behind early on, but not for long, and they have run away with it. 7-2 winners. They return to winning ways. They will travel next to Atlantic City. That'll be in the middle of the week, and then they're back here at home against Kingston. And then their final game will be against Monmouth. So the final 2 home games we will have here on Game and Frame. But guys, don't go there. We'll be back shortly with a post-match interview with Met Oval.
Heat up top, can't quite control it. Blasky back out with a long shot. Oh, and the touch of the crossbar! A great save there from the keeper. Redirected. Oh, Josh Levine.
Superhuman gut reaction.
And Richmond County FC versus Greek Americans also playing as well as Sullivan could be in. Right footed shot! Perella is called into a big time save.
Saved! Gino Saverni redeems himself with a magnificent dive.
There, but no call. The shot tipped over. What a save by Chillingarian. Every single inch of him needed to get that one.
Great ball. Giuseppe Barone, left-footed shot, stopped incredibly well. Aldo Munoz.
The outlet player, and Kuso comes out with it, has a hit, and oh, what a touch by Delson. I can't believe he got fingertips to that one. I'm not sure if that was a deflection or just the shot, but what an athletic save from Delson to keep that ball out of the net.
And it's cement their second victory. Here comes the ball looking for Tim DeMay. DeMay takes a shot, and there's a save by Dennis Mejia. Points. Shot, Borisevic! Swatting it away just in time, just enough bounce.
Hey guys, I'm here with Nelson Reynoso and Andy Kasha. Nelson, I'll start with you. Went behind early, but you guys quickly turned it around. What was going through your guys' head when you went 1-0 down?
Yeah, we don't get nervous. Like at home, every single game that we played at home, we went down, and then every single time we put on the thriller. Like that, we know how it is. You know, when you got me and Andy on the field, like it's easy to come back now.
Yeah, already.
Yeah, that's it.
You guys looked very confident in possession, particularly that first half. You absolutely dominated the game. Kasha, what is the Met Oval mentality?
I mean, we like to play with the ball, obviously, so we know quality-wise we're probably better than most teams in the league, I would say. So, you know, when it comes to these situations and we go 1-0 down, we know we can bounce back and we know we can, you know, get the win, get the 3 points.
Yeah. You're excellent putting the strings in there. Yeah, you want to say something else on that?
I mean, it comes from the academy. We play like this. It's common. Like, we don't think, we just play, you know?
Yeah. Do you think you have an advantage as well, having you guys have played in this field so much, and it is a little bit tighter, which I think a lot of teams, they struggle to play out the press, but you guys are used to these incredibly tight spaces.
Yeah, I mean, we train in these tight spaces, you know, 5v5s, rondos. It's always, you know, we like to play. We don't like to kick long. You know, that's just our play style.
It's really fun to watch. Nelson, you took your goal very well. Bounced down to you. There's a lot of bodies in the box. You didn't panic. You sold a few defenders dummies. Really picked your moment.
Yeah, I mean, we play this 5-a-side drill over there. It's pretty much like the same thing. That's what I was thinking. That's literally how it was. But yeah, thanks to John for that drill. Shout out to John.
Fantastic. Kasia, it was a difficult point in the season for you guys up to this. You got 1 point from the last 2. How good does it feel to be back to winning ways?
It feels awesome. I mean, the last 2 games, you know, we didn't play well. We knew we had to bounce back, and you know, today was a good opportunity to do that. We went 1-0 down, but we believe in ourselves and we're confident that we can play with the ball and get the 3 points. Yeah.
Nelson, 3 games left. You're going to be away to Atlantic, and then 2 massive games against Kingston, and then Monmouth on the final day. If you guys win out, you will finish the top seed, and you'll be the North East champions, and then obviously you've got the playoffs to look forward to. What's the key to success for these final 3 games?
I think the key is just, you know, keeping our players healthy, but also playing the way we're playing. You know, I think the biggest game is that Monmouth game. You know, I was sick. I couldn't come to the Monmouth game. That's the biggest game I'm looking forward to. I want to come back. It's home now. We really want to give it to them.
Oh, we're looking forward to that game. We're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. And pleasure watching you as always. Well played, boys. Hope you get some rest. Okay.
Where do we watch this back?
Game and Frame YouTube.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good one. Okay, we're going to see, thanks guys, we're going to see if we can get ourselves Coach Buckler as well. Yeah, he's just coming over. John, congrats on the victory. A little bit more comfortable than the past 2 home games. But you guys did, I thought you guys actually started really well. You played well, but corner kick, they had that goal. How pleased were you with the way your boys just kept playing exactly how you've set them out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pleased because it's 3 games in a row conceding from a free kick. So the 1-1 tie against Braveheart is from a free kick. The 2 goals they scored today is from a free kick. The goal against Monmouth that put the game away was from a free kick. So not pleased at all with that. But in terms of the response to carry on doing what we do is obviously quality, okay? And I thought today, you know, even in the previous games, having the ball wasn't a problem. We weren't threatening enough. And obviously today we were plenty threatening, so pleased with that.
Your guys' formation is so attacking, and it works for you because you possess the ball and your defenders are good enough to play out the back. But, from all your coaching experience, do you think, is there many groups of players who could play the systems that you do successfully?
I kind of said this from the beginning. It's why we really needed Med Oval alumni to come back and play, because they understand what we do, because I don't think it's an easy thing to jump in and understand from the get-go in terms of how we play. So from that standpoint, having guys that have been in it and done it for years obviously makes the job a little bit easier. And then we have some new guys that are experiencing it, and you can see kind of their progress throughout the season as they kind of come to grips with what we do. But that's the thing, when we do it well, good luck dealing with us. So
yeah, I mean, that first half was one of the most enjoyable, like just 45 minutes of football I've seen. I mean, particularly Blanco's first time I saw him alongside Kasia, it's like Xavi and Iniesta, just never panic, always triangles.
That's the one thing we'll develop is midfielders, 6s. So we've got a slew of those that can go in there and do the job. Obviously, we're missing Matty Iriarte today, who's a phenomenal player, and that's, you know, again, what the coaches have done previously and the overall club philosophy puts us in a place where we have good players that understand what we're trying to do. So.
I think the man of the victory today as well speaks to the strength of the squad you've got. You had 6 different goal scorers, and I need to go back and count because it's been so many different, but I think you're well over 10 goal scorers. So how pleased are you with the depth of the squad?
No, the depth is massive, especially given these summer leagues where guys are on vacation with families or they've got internships or whatever else, where you're always going to be a little bit missing guys here and there. So to have a group of guys that, you know, because I don't think I've started the same 11 once this year. So to have enough depth that's not like a massive concern for us is obviously pleasing. We don't have a goal scorer with 10 goals. We have a slew with several. So pleased that we're able to find goals from different places, especially given the last 2 games we haven't been able to do that. So.
You had Olesko up front, took his finishes so well. So when he came through tryouts, correct? So when did he come to your attention? And was it today's debut?
Braveheart Wednesday was his debut. We were waiting on his ITC. We had to get an international transfer certificate because he was actually last playing in Germany, so we had to go through a process with FIFA. That's why he's just now kind of getting involved. But yeah, he's a guy we found through tryouts. Obviously a guy that can stretch the game and run in behind and be a threat in that way. So really, really pleased to be able to add him. So
you guys are very close to making the playoffs now, but also you could finish top of the entire Northeast against Monmouth. We've got these 3 games. Monmouth on the final day. Obviously, you have to focus on winning these next 2. But how much are you looking forward to that final day game against Monmouth?
Yeah, I mean, because to be honest, if you watch our game against Monmouth, and I think they'd agree, it wasn't a 3-0 game. I think it was much tighter, and it came down to 3 moments that they took really well. So I think we're definitely looking for a little bit of revenge there. And of course, we want the #1 seed. We want to host the playoff games. So yeah, I think it's really important for us.
Fantastic. John, it's a pleasure watching your team as always, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you. All right, guys, well, that just about does it for us here at the Oval, Met Oval, with an emphatic 7-2 victory. They've taken a firm grip on the second playoff spot, and as we just mentioned, kept alive the chance that they can take top seed if they win out the season. Tonight, we're going to have Renegades taking on Empire in a massive UPSL Northeast American semi-final. That's going to be at 7:30 p.m. live from Sousa. Plenty more action as well coming up this weekend. You can have a look on our Instagram at Game and Frame to see the poster. We will be back here at Met Oval next weekend as they host Kengiston Stockade, and then the week after that it will be the big one, the really big one against Monmouth. Cannot wait for that. But for now, big thank you to Met Oval for bringing us down here. Thank you to Hawaii Espinosa for doing great work behind the camera. Thank you to all of you for watching. This is Josh Pratt signing off from the Oval. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone.